Most people get this wrong when they try to start a company in Mali. They assume it is just about filling out forms and paying a small fee. But here's the truth no one tells you. The real challenge is not registration itself. It is understanding the exact legal sequence, the documents required, and how each step connects to the next. And if you skip even one part, your application can get delayed, rejected, or sent back for correction. Now, if you are planning to start a business in Mali in 2026, you need a clear system. Not scattered advice. Not outdated information. Because here's the problem. Mali follows a structured OHADA business framework, which is actually a good thing. But it still requires precision. And precision is where most beginners fail. Now stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to break down exactly how to start a company in Mali step by step. From choosing your business structure to getting your tax number and fully operating legally. And by the end, you will understand the entire process like someone who has done it before. Let's begin with the foundation. Before you register anything, you need to understand the business structure system in Mali. Most entrepreneurs choose between two main forms. The first is a sole proprietorship, which is simple and suitable for individuals starting small. The second is a SARL, which is a limited liability company and is the most common structure for serious businesses. Now here's where most people make a mistake. They choose the easiest option instead of the most strategic one. If you are testing an idea or working alone, a sole proprietorship might be enough. But if you plan to scale, hire employees, work with partners, or attract investors, SARL is the better long-term choice. For example, if Alex wants to start a small trading business in Bamako, he could begin as a sole operator. But if he wants to build a logistics company that expands across borders, SARL is the smarter structure. Now let's move to the first official step. ID. Step 1 is choosing and reserving your company name. This step sounds simple, but it is more important than most beginners realize. In Mali, your business name must be unique and approved through the official business registration system. This is typically handled through a one-stop business formalities center, often aligned with OHADA procedures. Now here's where it gets interesting. Many entrepreneurs lose time at this stage because they submit only one name. When it gets rejected, they restart the process from zero. So here is the smarter approach. Always prepare at least 2 or 3 backup names before you apply. For example, if Jake wants to start an import-export business, he might try Sahel Trade Connect, but also prepare backups like Mali Global Cargo or Bamako Trade Bridge. This simple step can save days of delay. Once your name is approved, you move to the second step, which is preparing your legal documents. Now, this is where beginners often feel overwhelmed, but it is actually very structured when broken down. To register a company in Mali, you typically need identification documents, proof of address, and company statutes. The statutes are especially important. They define how your company operates, how decisions are made, and how ownership is distributed. But here's the problem. Many people copy templates from the internet without adapting them to local OHADA requirements. That leads to rejection or corrections. So the correct approach is to use a properly structured OHADA-compliant document, either professionally prepared or carefully adapted to Mali's legal expectations. If you have multiple partners, this becomes even more important because the statutes define who owns what and how disputes are handled. Now let's move to step 3, which is submission through the One-Stop Business Formalities Center. In Mali, company registration is centralized. This means you do not have to visit multiple government offices separately. You submit your file at the One-Stop Center, and they coordinate with the commercial registry, tax authority, and social security institutions. Now here's where many beginners fail. They assume submission means approval. But submission is just the beginning. Your documents are reviewed carefully, and sometimes returned for corrections. So accuracy is critical. Even small inconsistencies like name spelling differences or missing signatures can delay the process. Now let's talk about timing. If everything is correctly prepared, the process can move relatively quickly through the centralized system. But if documents are incomplete or inconsistent, it can take much longer. And this is where preparation becomes your biggest advantage. Now once your application is accepted, your company is officially registered with the commercial registry. This is a major milestone, because this is the moment your business becomes a legal entity recognized by the state. You receive a unique identification number that you will use for contracts, banking, and taxation. But here's something important most beginners don't realize. At this stage, your business exists legally, but it is not yet fully operational until you complete tax registration and banking setup. So let's move to the next step. Step 4 is tax registration. This is one of the most important parts of the entire process. Your company must be registered with the tax authority to obtain a tax identification number. This number is required for invoicing, reporting, and operating legally in the formal economy. Now here's where it gets interesting. Many small business owners delay tax registration, thinking it only matters once they start earning money. But in Mali's system, tax registration is part of company formation itself. So it should be completed immediately after or during registration. Once you have your tax number, your company becomes fully integrated into the legal and fiscal system. Now let's move to banking, because this is where your company becomes practical in real business operations. To operate professionally, you need a corporate bank account. This account must be in your company's name, not your personal name. For example, if John starts a construction company, all client payments should go into the business account. Mixing personal and business funds creates accounting problems and legal risks later. To open a business account, banks will typically request your registration certificate, tax identification number, and identification documents of company directors. Now here's the problem many beginners face. They try to open a bank account before completing full registration. And that leads to rejection or delays. So the correct order is always registration first, then banking. Now let's talk about sector-specific licensing. Not every business needs additional licenses, but some do. If you are in import-export, transportation, food production, construction, healthcare, or financial services, you may need additional permits from regulatory authorities. This is where many entrepreneurs get confused because they assume registration is enough. But here's the truth. Company registration gives you legal identity. Sector licenses give you operational permission. So if Alex is starting a food distribution business in Bamako, he may need health and safety approvals in addition to standard registration. Now let's talk about costs in a realistic way. The cost of starting a company in Mali depends on structure, documentation, and whether you use professional assistance. A sole proprietorship is generally cheaper. A SARL costs more due to legal documentation and administrative steps. But here's the key insight. The real cost is not just fees. It is mistakes. Because errors lead to delays, resubmissions, and extra expenses. Now let's move to timeline. If everything is properly prepared, the process can be completed efficiently through the centralized system. But incomplete documentation or errors can significantly extend the timeline. And this is why preparation is everything. Now let's move to something most guides ignore completely. Post-registration compliance. Because registering your company is just the beginning. You must maintain tax obligations, update company records if changes occur, and follow reporting requirements depending on your structure. Now here's where it gets interesting. Many entrepreneurs focus only on starting the business, not maintaining it. And that becomes a problem later when they want loans, partnerships, or expansion. So think long-term from day one. Now let's bring everything together. Starting a company in Mali follows a clear sequence. You choose your structure, reserve your business name, prepare legal documents, submit through the one-stop center, obtain your registration certificate, register for taxes, open a corporate bank account, and complete any sector-specific licensing. That is the full system. And if you follow it correctly, you avoid most of the common delays and mistakes that slow down new entrepreneurs. Now, here is the final insight. Success in business registration is not about speed. It is about preparation and accuracy. If you get those two things right, everything becomes smoother. So take your time, prepare properly, and follow each step in order. To summarize, starting a company in Mali in 2026 is a structured process. Choose your legal form, reserve your name, prepare compliant documents, register through the official system, obtain your tax number, open your business bank account, and secure any required licenses. Once that is done, your company is fully operational and ready to grow legally. If you found this guide helpful, make sure to like, comment with the next country you want covered, and subscribe for more step-by-step business breakdowns like this.